Welcome back to my Linkara / Danger Girl #1 review. At this point I could give a short recap of the first part, but seriously, either you have just watched it or you willingly choose a video labeled part 2. So, let's just move on with the review. The following 2 pages are supposed to introduce the other female characters, I guess. And it's done with a show-off contest, including showing off nerdiness, whipping skills, temper, knife-throwing skills, and physics. Seriously, why did she change into a bikini? Was her previous outfit too concealing? Anyways, it all comes to an end when Abby pipes up. Finally! And right on cue, this guy enters with a bottle of champagne. I'd hardly call a bottle of Wolf Denier 62 champagne. It's insulting. Snob. But I am actually bothered by a different issue than this guy's douchiness. They were just waiting for her to say something the whole time. They came here somewhere in the middle of the ocean by helicopter, patched Abby up, put her on a couch and started watching television for an hour. And I'm supposed to believe that they hadn't talked to Abby at all the whole time? Oh, and this big hole in the plot reminds me of another big hole. It would have been nice to give the poor girl at least some decent, undamaged clothes, don't you think? And all this just so that Ponytail here can have his big entrance. Good evening, Abby. I am your host. You may call me Deuce. What was that? Does he always say his name like this? Imagine everybody would do this. I am Bartholomew Oswald Samson Smith, but you can call me Boss.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Freak.
Strange. Didn't know this last guy's name is Khan. Anyways, until now all this comic did was wrapping up the story of issue number 0, the one we didn't even know of. So the writers decided it's exposition time, and since we haven't got any until now, we get it force-fed. Welcome to Operation Danger Girl. Danger Girl? A top secret covert combat force. Danger Girl consists of the best female operatives in the world. Huh? We are spies. But you said females. You're a man. Oh, so it would seem. Are you kidding? Yes. By the way, what's up with this group posing? I'm reading a comic book and it still appears staged. Anyways, apparently in his younger years Mr. Beefy was like James Bond, in a matter of speaking. You wish, ripoff. But he came back from retirement because of a terrible new threat to the world. The Fourth Reich, a union of former Soviets and Nazis.
Big bang to base. Under attack by commie Nazis.
Apparently the commies and Nazis put aside their ideological contrariety and joined forces. And even this is the most unlikely union since Microsoft and Apple. Ponytails actually claims to have long suspected this. Ooh, and here they come, marching through fire, the commie Nazi minions. Oh no, not this time. Look at them. They are faceless, nameless, identical looking minions.
I totally agree, sir. And I'm sorry for the disturbance. It was some kind of reflex.
Okay. Anyways, minions. It is really a reflex. Sorry, Bob. Just had to check. So, there is this threat in form of the most frightening forces in history combined. And what does this have to do with the story so far? Actually, nothing. Abby was just picked up for recruitment to join this covert ops. It's not hard to get what covert Deuce, or should I say seduce, has in mind. If I think about it, Deuce is even more fitting. The next 2 pages feature profiles of our beloved Danger Girls, and we learn what we already know since the show-off contest 3 pages earlier. Russian Natalia Castle can throw knives, Australian Sydney Savage, really? Well, she can whip, and nerdy girl Silicon Valerie? Oh, come on. These names are ridiculous.
Says the man who employs a boy named Sonny Summers, a butler named Bob, and whose initials result into the word boss.
Good point. Well, we learned that this girl is apparently underaged. This explains why she isn't showing off as much skin as the other girls. I bet Douche is dying to throw her 18th birthday party. Anyways, we are also told that Abby is a scholar with expertise in ancient civilizations and mystical artifacts. Gee, where have I heard this before? Yep, there. Hold on. Douche is talking through this yellow narration boxes, isn't he? Is he really introducing Abby to herself for the sake of exposition? We're asking for your help, Abby. Yes, he is still talking to her. But we don't get Abby's answer to the job offer right away. Instead, we jump to... fan service. We even get to choose between different types. Do you prefer offensive short towel, lace lingerie, or boyfriend's t-shirt? The choice is yours. While showing off as much of their bodies as possible without actually showing something, the girls are talking about how much they don't like the new girl. Except of Valerie. It says here she's a DiCaprio fan, so she can't be all bad. And what a surprise! Abby overheard them running her down. So it's angsting time, and of course she turns to Douche, sadly the indeed most reasonable person around. The whole conversation can be wrapped up like this. Angst, pretending to be interested because women totally dig this. Angst, 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 angst. Empty emotional phrase. By the way, don't I look sexy with this pipe? Not convinced, but staying anyways. Smashing. Oh, 600 hours. Mr. Exposition strikes again. He tells us about some missing antiques and that one of his molds was contacted by this weirdo, some weapons smuggler, to sell him some ancient shield. I don't really see the connection to the fight against the evil Nazi empire, but I just have to assume there is one. Otherwise this whole plot leads nowhere and the evil guys just win. Anyways, we cut to the Peach. Oh, he's really trying to outfake creepy villain from the beginning. Ever heard of dress in bright color to throw your enemies into confusion? Or no goatee. Nowadays it just makes you look like a disaffected member of Generation X. If he really works for the commie Nazis, this doesn't reflect too well on them either. You don't send the oddball psychopaths on important covered missions that require tact and subtlety. Number 55. But I am talking about the guys who dress up their legions of terror in cheap Nazi stormtrooper knockoff uniforms with face-concealing helmets. But let's return to the plot and see how the Danger Girls are handling the situation. I see him, fat guy, right? Yes, she sure brings across the highly trained operative she's supposed to be by not recognizing this freak she just saw a picture of during the briefing.
Now you see that evil will always triumph, because good is dumb.
In the meantime, Abby managed to disguise herself. In my opinion, she would have done better to pick an adult-sized dress, but I guess that wouldn't have satisfied the writer's pubertal fantasies. And at least the Peach seems to enjoy it. Okay, everybody, we are about to witness one of the stupidest turns of events ever. Just wanted to give you a heads up. The whole reason for Abby's improper dress-up was to place a transmitter in form of an olive. Yes, I know, stupid idea, but wait for what's about to happen. In front of the Peach to hear him say his employer's name. Right before he does, he stops in mid-sentence and eats the bug. Why? A bug in form of an olive? They could have put it anywhere else on the table or on the mole. Or they could have used their freaking satellite. At least Abby could have stayed in listening range, but no. And of course the only person who actually gets to hear the name gets killed right away. Huh. And apparently in Europe you can just gun a few people down in bright daylight in the middle of a lively street and just leave the scene laughing manly without anybody caring. But beware crashing a fruit stall in the exact same street moments later. This really pisses the locals off. What follows is an over-the-top, but in this matter okay chase scene, in which Sydney takes over one of the villain's vehicles, and Abby tries to stop the Peach by crashing her car into his, from behind. In reaction, the Peach orders his driver, Francois, to stop her, who immediately does the Tarzan. Ugh. This damn Frenchmen. They always creep me out. Just like this one guy I saw in a movie a while ago.
Yo, my name's Ben Ty, and you know that I'm always kissing guys.
Yes, that's the movie I meant. Now, stop it. Okay. Where was I? Right. Abby gets rid of scary Frenchman ejection seat style, and Sydney runs him over. Our heroines are not very merciful with their enemies, are they? And so we reach the last page, leaving this comic the way we entered it, with a cliffhanger. Well, at least nobody can say the publisher's name Cliffhanger was false advertisement. The writers also give us a bubblicious outlook on the next issue. This comic sucks! All this over-the-top action, cheesy one-liners, incompetent villains, rip-offs, sexualized women and all the other cliches in here. This is more like a parody.
Maybe it is a parody.
Have you been sitting there the whole time?
No, I'm only included in scenes where I actually have to say something. Gee, how lazy do you think ANY1 is?
Anyways, I guess I have proven to everybody that I totally can do what Linkara does. Thanks to my bossiness. I am awesome.
I believe there's something Linkara does in every episode you haven't done so far. I'll show you.
Broski, you're not the smartest. Lockbelt, you're not an artist. If your comic sucks, you